Hey, it's Adam. I want to give you a summarized version of how to test creative and optimize campaigns based on your dynamic ad testing. So, as you can see here, we have a campaign pulled up. We're going to optimize. We're going to go through optimizing this campaign. So, this is the tankless water heater campaign. Leads are coming in at a fairly good rate. Match everything back to your target cost per lead. So our target cost per lead for our tankless water heater is about $56 because of booking ratio and current closing ratios. Get these higher, you can spend more money. Get these lower, you have to spend less money. So booking and closing ratio definitely matter when you're advertising. And then return on ad spend. How much return do you want to get on our ad spend will give us how much cost per lead. So your average value of it really depends on if you have your numbers down and if you have a percentage of marketing done. If you don't, then you go over to our calculator and then figure out how much you can actually spend based on the profits you make on that job. I'll put the calculator in the notes, but here we're going to go based on the target cost per lead where you have set out for this campaign. So back to the campaigns, we're going to optimize the tankless water heater campaign in this city. So it didn't spend that much money, but it has a decent amount of leads, so we can start testing different things to get the best version of that to help the other campaigns in the other city for this client perform better as well. So total, we spent about $500 on advertising for tankless water heater installations. 500 divided by 13 is about $40 something per lead. So not too bad, but not the best. This is overall spend, but we want to look at impressions. So impressions are going to be the biggest one. Over 10,000, you can start to optimize. This one has 12,000 or so. So it's good to go for optimizations the first round. Then you want to have a decent amount of link clicks. Link clicks are the actual people going to if it's a lead form, get a quote, click there. So you want to have a decent amount there and have a decent click-through ratio to test. All clicks are people who've clicked on the see more in your ad, the play stop version of your ad, the picture in your ad, and your link clicks. So total, people have 344 clicks for this ad, either the see more button, the video button, image button, whatever. But the ones you want to take a look at are impressions. Reach is a good one to look at. 7,000 people. They've seen it almost 2 times. So this is starting to get up usually about 3 times. You want to test a new audience. But the actual audience we're testing has seen it about 2 times as well. So it might be time to either update the creative. We're going to leave it there. We're going to leave it there. We still have good CPMs. So we're not going to worry about the frequency yet. Frequency comes into play when your CPM start to creep up. $17, $18 is pretty typical for a CPM, all the way up to about $30 or so for a cold traffic audience. $30 is kind of high for a contractor if you don't have a good performing ad, but it really just depends on your cost per sale. So CPMs aren't that bad. So we are going to optimize this campaign specifically. And we don't have a clear winner. You would think this one is a clear winner, but this is still well within the target cost per lead. So we're going to let them run and test them further. But we're going to take out the creatives that work and the ones that don't. So it's going to go through this really quickly. I have a longer video if you want the in-depth. So dynamic creative elements, because all these campaigns are dynamic. So we're going to take the best performing one with the most leads, and that's going to be our control targeting. We're also going to go in depth a little bit in the analytics for targeting. We're going to see the platforms that work the best, the age that work the best, and the gender. If there's clear-cut winners, you're going to take those, optimize for them. So clear-cut winner in here is males. They have about 40% less cost per lead. So that's a clear winner to me. Clear winner in your Device is going to be mobile Facebook. So mobile Facebook is going to be the clear winner for this campaign. Age breakdown, there's not really a clear winner for ages. 55 to 64, you would think that's a clear winner, even though it does have about, it's almost 50% cost per lead. But we're not going to optimize just for 55 to 64 because, you know, there's only a certain amount of those people. But we are going to exclude 18 to 24, and we're going to keep an eye on 25 to 34 because that hasn't performed hardly that well at all. So we're going to keep an eye on 25 to 34, and Facebook will figure it out for us so we don't have to actually take them out. So we're going to go into the campaign really quickly just to make sure we have only one lookalike audience. We only want to test one at a time. What audience is the best? And for this one, we're going to use show one audience there. And for this one, we're going to use only newsfeed, only on Facebook, because that's performed the best. And then conversion leads. Conversion leads are different than leads. Leads get you as many leads as possible. Conversion leads get you as many leads that are going to convert as possible. A little different, different type of game. Like I said, I'm in the business of helping clients make more money. So if a client gives me data, let's say you give me 2 years worth of sales data, I can take that, use it to optimize for conversion leads. If you don't, then I have to optimize for leads, and then you get to figure out on the sales process who's going to convert, who's not. So the campaign set up 25 miles from the location. Lookalike audience is set up. All right. Click inside here, and you'll see two different versions. One version is headline testing. One version is ad text testing. They have the same call to action, same creative, but we're testing two different things. Why are we doing that? Because there was no clear winner on the headline or the ad text, but there was a clear winner on call to actions and creative. So we're going to go to creative, images, video, slideshow. All right. So clear winner is an overstatement for the creative, but the one creative that did bring in a lot of leads was the installation creative. It brought in 9. So the majority, so 90% of these leads are from this one creative. So we're going to take that, test against it. The average cost per lead is about $30 on this creative. 6 here, so spend about $210 on this creative. Brought in 9 leads, so yeah, about $30 or so. A little less than $30. A little more than 20, a little less than 30. So that's a pretty good number. So we're going to take that and use it inside the ad campaign as a constant. So when we're testing, you're testing hypothesis, which one's going to work versus which one's not. All right. So the creative's done, and the call to action. Let's see which one brought in the most. Call to action is done. Get quote did. Yep, get quote brought in 70%. So we're going to take that and test against it. That's going to be our control as well. Then the ad testing is going to be the text and the headlines. The headline, you don't really see a clear winner. They're scattered throughout. This isn't really clear. I wouldn't call that a clear winner because it has spent the most money. So it spent 3 times as much money, got 3 times as many conversions. Not really that big of a winner. So you're going to test the ones that have converted as well. The one that hasn't converted, you're not going to leave out. So trusted across, trusted by that many people across Maryland. We're going to leave that one out. I should have probably included people in that, but that version of that headline does not work very well. Actually, it's only spent $30, $50. So we're going to leave it in there, and it's going to be on nice. So we're going to we're going to make sure we track it. I can set up a custom tracker. As a rule, if this headline does not get a conversion at $80 or $90, then take it out. So I'll probably do that, set up a rule for that. So we're going to test the different ad headlines and then test the different texts. Text here. All right, which text worked the best? They all are variations of the same text, but there's no clear winner here either. So we're going to take this and put that all inside to test. So we have 2 controls, 2 different variations. So what we're going to do, and what Facebook allows you to do now, is you are allowed, so dynamic is basically just creative testing, And then Facebook allows you to test different headline text versions inside your account, which is great. All right. So, all right. So, see the different headline versions. You click in here. You can click the button Add Options and then add more headlines to your version. Don't go overboard with it, especially if you are just doing things at random. Make sure you have a process on how you test things. And this is part of our process. Just wanted to show you. So headlines are in here. The same thing with ad text. We're going to take a different version. It's going to be the same call to action, same. We're going to pick one version of the ad text that we think is going to work the best, put it in the headline, then take one version of the headline we think is going to work the best, put it in the body copy. Typically, that's going to be the one with the most clicks because there was no clear winner. Body copy is going to be different body copies, one headline, one call to action, all the same stuff. So you want to make sure you have controls and different versions of what you're testing versus your controls so you can optimize accordingly. So we're going to test the headline and we're going to test text to see which one works the best for this version so we can build out control for this one campaign. We want to have one version of a headline, ad text, content, call to action that works the quote unquote best for this campaign, for this audience. So that's the goal, to get one control and then use that control to test different versions of it. So we can test different versions of the creative later. So we can add as a voiceover for the installations. Hey, this was a 5-star review from blah 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 in blah 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 city. That version of the video versus this one is just picture as a slideshow basically. So we can test different versions of it. Call to action inside the video, whatever. But usually for accounts like this, you don't get that far because you're not spending enough money to test that. You're basically, for the type of thing, you test. I don't need to do that. All right. So basically, for this type of account, so for a lead generation who's not spending more than $5 or $6 grand on Facebook a month for one specific service. So one specific service is important. This one we're advertising for 4 to 5 different services. This is one we're testing specifically, Tankless installations. If we're not spending more than $5 grand a month on one specific service, you're not going to get as far as testing different types, different versions of the same creative. We're going to test different types, of course. We're going to make different videos. We're going to make different images. We're going to make different carousels, all that. We're not going to test the different versions of the same creative, which you can get. I mean, you go further and further, you can test almost everything. So you have to figure out a fine line of where the budget is allowing you to where you're going to stop and then still go back to the drawing board, do it all over again. As a Facebook advertiser, you always want to figure out where you're going to stop in this campaign, go back to the beginning, do it all over again to make sure you can beat it or improve it. So that's how you do it. That's how you optimize for basically optimize an ad. So I just walked you through optimizing an ad for one specific campaign. And then do it all over again. Different versions of the audience, different versions of the creative. But you want to have a winner, especially if you're in a client business like me. You want to have a winner that you can take, put up at any time, and get them leads at any time. So that's what we're testing. That's what we're finding for them here. And you can see they get leads along the way. But, it could be further and further optimized. And we can drive a ton more leads if we optimize just for leads, but these are conversion leads because they only have one salesperson here, and he only has a limited amount of time. I know the owner, he wants me to drive as many leads as possible, but, something, it's not always the best if your client wants it. It might not always be the best for them. I know we can do a phenomenal job for them driving conversion leads at $14, $15 we can drive leads of $5, but are they the type of leads that he wants? Probably not. So we're not going to do that. So that's it. This is a abridged version, the shortened down version of how to test different ads to optimize for your campaigns. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully you like it. I'll talk to you soon.